very worrying development in Arunachal Pradesh, where there's an allegation that a 17-year-old boy has been abducted by the People's Liberation Army, the Chinese army that is, and in fact the Indian army has now asked for the help of the PLA to locate Miran Toron. His friend says that both of them, along with a few others, were out hunting on Indian territory when they were abducted by soldiers of the PLA. The friend says he managed to run back, but Miran is still in the custody of the Chinese. In even more curious developments, the Foreign Ministry of China has denied any knowledge whatsoever of any such incident, least of all an abduction having taken place. So how do we understand what really is happening? Because as it is, China has been extremely belligerent along the LAC, especially in Arunachal Pradesh in the recent past, but this would be seen as a major escalation. Lieutenant General S.L. Narasimhan, member of the National Security Advisory Board, is with us along with Lieutenant General Shaukin Chauhan, former DG of Assam Rifles. General Narasimhan, I want to first ask you, is this a major escalation from intrusion to an abduction?
Thank you, Padmaja, for this opportunity and also for that question. In my experience of serving in the India-China border, there have been a number of incidents like this, not only from the Indian side, crossing over to the other side, or being captured by the other side, or even the Chinese nationals crossing over being caught by our side. Both are common. That is number one. Number two, when such incidents happen, there is a proper procedure to handle it. The joint interrogation is done of the person that is crossed over or been taken into custody. And once his credentials are established properly, then he is handed over to the other side. In the present case, what seems to have happened is that these boys who have gone for the hunting part, they say that they have not crossed over, but we are not very clear because that line of actual control is there, is not clearly marked on the ground. So therefore, we don't know whether it was in exuberance if they crossed over, or whichever way it is. Now the boy seems to be in the PLA custody, and if that is the case, then we are also, there is a procedure in which using the hotline, the message is conveyed to the other side, and the other side takes necessary action to locate this individual, and if he is in their custody, then after due procedures, I hope and wish that they hand him over in good condition back to us.
But General Chauhan, if this was an inadvertent crossing over, wouldn't the Foreign Ministry have acknowledged it and said, yes, this is what happened and we are processing it? Instead, they have denied any knowledge whatsoever. How do you interpret that?
Padmaja, good evening. Thank you for calling me on the show.
Good evening,
it's difficult to disagree with General Narasimhan. He's absolutely right. These inadvertent crossings have taken place in the past. There's a well-known system by which the Indian Army employs to ensure that we get our nationals back, and as also we have done the same for the Tibetan nationals or the Chinese nationals who have crossed over inadvertently to us. Now, as far as the Chinese Foreign Ministry's remarks are concerned, Padmaja, it's just happened 2 days back. Maybe the information has not percolated down to the Chinese Foreign Ministries yet. As General Narasimhan said, the process of this boy being taken back to the headquarters, being interrogated there, and then the information cycle starts moving backwards. So we can only hope for the best, Padmaja. We're hoping that he's returned in good health. It's obviously a case of a situation, inadvertent incident, and well, we hope so. But there are very clear protocols laid down between the two armies, and this has happened in the past, and we have always got our boys back. That's all I can say.
You know, because we are saying, General Narasimhan, that this is possibly an inadvertent crossing over, but the boy who escaped, Miran Taron's friend Johnny, he has said in his complaint, or rather the father of the kidnapped boy has said in his complaint very clearly that the PLA troops came into Indian territory and took both of these boys in their custody. So, do you think that there is a little bit of mismatch of facts over there? This is also something, by the way, which was reiterated by the SP and the DC of the area when we spoke to them. General Narasimhan.
It is like this. I am sure neither the SP nor the DC would have been there at the place of the incident. That is quite very difficult because those areas are really treacherous. I mean, the terrain is really tough. I don't think neither the SP nor the DCM nor the DC would have been there at that point in time. And also the boy, the friend of the boy who was actually been caught by the PLA may not necessarily know exactly where that line of actual control lies on ground. Though in general they know, all these people when they go for hunting, they are told that this is the line that you should not cross. But we really don't know exactly as to under what circumstances this boy was captured by the PLA. Until the time that is clear, I think we need to be a little cautious in actually giving reasons or giving the kind of justification for what has happened. That is one. Number two, as we all know, since this news has already reached all the way up to Delhi, I am sure this case is being handled as per the correct procedures that have been laid down. I am sure using the hotline and other messages, the message would have gone across. I am sure within the next couple of days we'll get the situation clear.
Now, General Chauhan, there's one question of the convention as opposed to the rule. Could it be, and also again because the Chinese foreign ministry has said PLA controls borders in accordance with the law and cracks down on illegal entry and exit activities. Could it also be possible, if they want, given their recent aggression / belligerence, that they could keep an Indian national in custody, arguing that he's broken their law or has crossed over illegally?
Padmaja, in my experience, and I've been a brigade commander on the line of active control, if they acknowledge that they have this boy, then he will be returned as soon as possible. The issue is, will the PLA acknowledge? I hope the boy is in good health. I hope nothing else has happened to him. So these are difficult things. And as General Narasimhan has said, you know, it's just happened. The situation is just 2 days old. We need to give some space here. We need to, the foreign ministries also must be in touch with each other. The armies are in touch with each other. We will come to know in the next 2-3 days whether there's a denial or whether the boy is in custody. But if he's in custody and the Chinese agree that he's in custody, he will be returned. That's my experience, that he will be returned in good health.
Sorry, go ahead, Shokin, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, not at all, sir. So this is my experience. As far as his friend is concerned, and you know, I have dealt with the narratives of our hunters along the line of active control. Many times they simply don't know where they've gone. These are jungles, they may be chasing some prey, they may be doing something else, they're young children. And they do make mistakes. They do cross over. And this, like I said, this has happened before, Padmaja. And if it's happened before, we know how to deal with it. We can just pray that the Chinese.
Okay, it's very reassuring.
Yeah. If they acknowledge,
it's reassuring that you say that from your own personal experience. General Narasimhan, you also wanted to add something. Yes.
Yeah, just 1 second. On the question, I fully agree with what Shokin has said. But in addition to that question which you asked about the foreign ministry actually not knowing the thing, maybe that the information has still not trickled down back to Beijing. At the local levels, I am sure the interrogation must be going on, and thereafter, I think when it goes up the channel, they'll come to know. It may be a matter of time, so probably we need to give them a little more time to get to know this. That is number one. Number two is, you know, it's extremely difficult in those areas to lay exactly as to where the line of actual control actually is. It's extremely difficult. Shokin has served there. I have done my brigade divisional and the corps commands out there. It is not a very easy thing to understand where that line of actual control is, and it is very easy to actually cross over in some form. That is not to say that, you know, the PLA would have or would not have come across or anything. We don't know that either. So without knowing these facts of exactly what happened on ground, I think it'll be incorrect to jump to conclusions.
All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Again, like I said at the beginning, on the one hand, you've got a lot of political bickering, alarmist cries about how we have a hostage situation on our hand and it shows that India is weak in the face of very aggressive China. And on the other, actual facts from people who know what the situation is like in that very uncertain area. Thank you very much, General Narasimhan, General Chauhan, for having joined us. We will keep it to the facts and leave the politics side for a bit. Thanks for watching.